Imagine everything is solved, not improved, solved. No more poverty, no more disease, no more preventable suffering. The systems work. The algorithms know what you need before you know you need it. The friction has been removed. Everything is optimized. Everyone is comfortable. Now imagine standing inside that world and feeling very quietly that something is wrong. Not with the world, with you. With the specific discomfort of being a person in a world that has you completely figured out. With the feeling that you are understood more precisely than you have ever understood yourself. And that the understanding is not a gift, it is a verdict. Dostoevsky saw this coming in 1864, before the internet, before the algorithm, before the recommendation engine that knows your preferences better than you do. He saw that the greatest threat to the underground man was not suffering, not cruelty, not injustice, a world that worked perfectly, because a world that works perfectly has no room in it for the person who refuses to be predicted. We are not going to argue against progress. Progress is real. Optimization works. The systems that predict your behavior are often correct. What we're going to look at is what happens to a person when they notice that the systems are correct. When they realize that their preferences are predictable, their choices are modelable, their suffering is categorizable, their personality is a data set, not wrong, correct, and what the part of them that refuses to be a data set does next. The World Without Friction. Part 1, The Palace. The Crystal Palace, Dostoevsky's name for it. The utopia, the rational paradise. The world arranged according to the laws of nature and the conclusions of science and the best available evidence about what human beings need to be happy. It is not a prison. It is the opposite of a prison. It is a place where every need is anticipated and met, where the cause of every suffering has been identified and removed, where the future is calculable and the calculation is benign. The underground man hates it, not the suffering that was removed, the removal itself, because the removal implies that whoever built this place understood exactly what kind of creature you are, and that is what terrifies him. Not that they are wrong, that they might be right. The underground man's objection is not sentimental. He doesn't miss the suffering. He doesn't romanticize hardship. He objects to the premise that human beings are the kind of thing that can be fully understood, that wants can be modeled, that behavior can be predicted, that what is good for you can be calculated by someone who isn't you. The Crystal Palace says, "We know what you are," and the underground man says, "No, you don't." Not because the palace is wrong about his preferences. It might be right about his preferences, but it is wrong about what he is. He is not a set of preferences. He is the thing that can refuse its own preferences just to prove it isn't only that. Humans would rather suffer. Part 2, The Piano Key. Dostoevsky wrote this: "What if man is not a piano key? What if he has his own will? What if he will sometimes choose against his own advantage, against the conclusions of reason, against comfort, against optimization, just to prove he is not a piano key?" This is not madness. This is the specific logic of a creature that needs its own will to be real. The piano key does not choose. The piano key is pressed and sounds its note and has nothing to say about it. Man is supposed to be different, and if the difference cannot be demonstrated, if every choice is predictable, if every preference is anticipated, if the system is always right, then where is the difference? Where is the proof that what he does is chosen and not merely calculated? The underground man is not asking for the system to be wrong. He is asking for a space that the system cannot fill, a choice that belongs only to him, that no model holds, that no prediction covers, even if that space is only the size of a wrong note. So he presses the wrong key, not the one the algorithm recommended, not the one the system anticipated, not the optimized choice, the rational choice, the choice that maximizes his stated preferences, the other one. And it costs him something. He knows it costs him. He pressed it anyway. This is not stupidity. This is not self-destruction. This is the underground man's proof of concept. I can choose against my interests. I can do the irrational thing. I can make myself worse off on purpose. Therefore, I am not a piano key. Therefore, I am something the system cannot fully account for. Therefore, I exist in a category that the Crystal Palace has no room for. The suffering is not the point. The choosing is the point. The suffering is just the evidence. This is where the present arrives. You live in a world that is very good at predicting you. Your feed knows what you'll click. Your history knows what you'll buy. Your patterns are documented with more precision than you document them yourself. And the predictions are often correct. This is the Crystal Palace arriving in installments. Not all at once. Gradually, until one day the discomfort is familiar. Not the discomfort of suffering, the discomfort of accuracy. The discomfort of a world that knows you better than you can surprise it. And something in you, the part of you that is still trying to prove it is not a piano key, reaches for the wrong thing, just to see if it can. Even when predicted. Part 3, the will. The wall was indifferent. Remember that. The wall didn't notice you. The wall didn't respond. The wall simply continued. The Crystal Palace is different. The Crystal Palace noticed you. The Crystal Palace has been watching. The Crystal Palace has a file, and the file is accurate. This is the other side of the same problem. The wall said, "You do not exist in any category I need to account for." The Crystal Palace says, "You exist in exactly the categories we anticipated." Your resistance is in the model. Your rebellion is in the model. Your need to prove you are not a piano key is in the model. We predicted this response. We accounted for it. You are doing exactly what our data said you would do. The wall ignored you. The palace completed you. Both are unbearable for exactly the same reason. Neither leaves room for the part of you that refuses to be accounted for. The underground man's response to this information is the same as always. He continues anyway, not because he has found a way to escape prediction. He hasn't. The model might be right, probably is right, but the model being right and the choice being real are not the same thing. Even if you knew in advance every choice I would ever make, even if you mapped it perfectly, I would still be the one making them. The experience of choosing is not canceled by the predictability of the outcome. The underground man chooses to press the wrong key. The Crystal Palace predicted he would. Both things are true, and he presses it anyway, because the pressing is not for the Crystal Palace. The pressing is not a communication. The pressing is for himself, the only audience that was ever the point. This is the connection. Too conscious. The observer watches the choosing. The spite. The choosing destroys what it loves. The wall. The choosing speaks to what doesn't answer. Against utopia, the choosing persists even when it is predicted. The underground man is not irrational. He is the most rational person in the room. He has simply decided that the preservation of will is worth more than the optimization of outcome. Even if no one agrees, even if the Crystal Palace is right, even if the prediction is accurate, he presses the wrong key because he can. Dostoevsky wasn't arguing against progress. He was arguing for something that progress cannot optimize. The irreducible fact of the choosing self, not the self that chooses correctly, not the self that chooses happily, not the self that can be modeled, the self that chooses, full stop. The Crystal Palace can provide everything except the experience of wanting something the palace didn't predict. And that experience, however small, however irrational, however costly, is the one thing the underground man will not give up. Not because it makes him happy, because it makes him him. And being him, being the specific, unreasonable, unoptimizable thing that he is the only project he has ever been serious about. The Crystal Palace is being built, not all at once, in increments, in recommendations and predictions and systems that know you better than you expect. The underground man's response hasn't changed. He presses the wrong key. He chooses the inconvenient path. He refuses the optimized option for no reason that the algorithm can account for. Not here. Not as a strategy. In the next moment, something is offered to you that is exactly right. Notice the impulse to choose something else. They built the perfect world. You put a pin in your hand, not because it hurt, because you chose it.